How you doing, YouTubers? This is Galen. Making this video out of my office here in El Paso. I just want to give everybody an update on what's been going on. How the you know dump truck's been going, how my freight broker experience and everything been going. I think the last video I made, I'm looking at it right now, about 3 months ago, was when I first got my dump truck. If you don't know, I have a 1986 Freightliner Classic dump truck. I paid $18,000 for it, and it's been a work in progress. I got it in February. It was just something that I wanted to do as time went on. My freight broker business is going really good, so it's kind of running itself, making its money. I have customers that are, dedicated to me, give me, year-round freight. Then I got my seasonal freight, and I help with that. So I said, you know what? I want to try and expand. I love driving, but going on the road wasn't just what I wanted to do. So I looked into dump trucking. I did some research, followed some people online, and found that dump trucking is a way of making money. So what I'm about to do right now is I'm about to show y'all a few videos of some of the things that some job sites that my dump truck has been doing. It's been working pretty good. So here you go. Here's just a few clips right here, a few short clips of some jobs that I've done and some things that I've done, and I'll get back with you. So I hope that y'all like those videos. Like I said, I've had on-site jobs where for like one whole week I didn't pass like 22 miles an hour. I think it was like 22, 25 miles an hour. For a whole week my truck didn't go that fast because it was just get loaded here, take it on site, dump it, get loaded there, take it on site, dump it. Another job site that I have is I'm doing some acres. I have a guy, he's just trying to flatten out he's starting a tow truck business. So he needs somewhere to bring all the vehicles and stuff. So he just want to flatten it out. So I've been bringing loads of base to his location. Those are like the primary materials that I deliver for customers, is screening and base. It's just a level here in El Paso of material to help, level the ground out. That is, it's a material that they do use that hardens up, that helps level the ground out here in El Paso. I have landed a customer. Um, um, sorry, I have landed a customer where it's kind of year round. I contract with them to help bring materials to their yard and stuff. They're a pretty big concrete company, but they need rock, they need sand, they need screening and stuff to keep the concrete going. So I help out with that. I do that back and forth. But overall, the dump truck has been doing good. No break. No, I'm not even gonna lie. I have had two um, minor breakdowns. One was my clutch. If you don't know, from the transmission to the clutch paddle, there's some sort of handle that grabs it like this, and then there's a bolt. Well, what happened was the handle that holds your clutch to the transmission. So when you hit it, it separates the transmission from the engine, so you can put it in gear. Well, that lever there snapped. I was loaded. I had about 12 tons on me. I hit my clutch, and then I heard crack, and my clutch went all the way down to the ground. So that was a very fun day right there. So I have a mechanic. He's really good. So I called him up, sent him some pictures, and he was like, "We can get it fixed. Let me see if I can get the tow truck out, or I can send the guy down to come fix it." And I was like, "Well, let me try something real quick." And I'm mechanically inclined. Like I can fix stuff, but I just choose not to because I'm not that experienced. I'd rather put somebody that does it for a living on it than me doing. But little fixtures, fix things that needs to be quick fix, I can do those. So I had the hole was about this big, but it was broke right there, and like I said, there was nothing there. So I was able to get a bolt bigger than the hole, put the attachment from the transmission to the clutch together, clutch pedal together, and shove that big bolt in there, tighten it up, and it was still broke, but the bolt wouldn't come out, so it allowed me to hit the shifter. I mean, hit the clutch, and it was able to allow me to get in gear and move. So I was able to do that. I was actually in front of the quarry when I broke down, which is a bad look. But I was actually in front of the quarry, but I was able to go back, and I have a good relationship with them. They understand that, I'm a hard worker. So I was able to just get unloaded, drop the material, take it to my mechanic. He fixed it. It was the end of the day. I think I was like on my last two loads. So I was able to get to limp my way to the mechanic. They looked at it, fixed it. Next day I was on the road. Then the second one was a little bit scarier. I can say this is them because time has passed, and somebody from DOT up here. Sorry. What happened was when the customer that I have, it's a private road that you go on, that all their trucks and stuff, so you don't have to deal with all the traffic. Well, that private road has rocks and stuff like that. So I was driving, and I don't know, I just hear a crank. I just hit a rock. Man, it was just a really big rock. And under your fuel tank, there's this the line that's screwed in, and yeah, it hit that line and broke the I forgot what it's called. I'm having a brain fart. It's early Sunday morning here. But anyways, um it broke the piece that put the line under the tank, and yeah, I'm leaking fuel. I hit my gas. The first sign, I was driving, and I was able to unload, no problem. I unloaded, thought nothing of it. So I was unloaded, dropped the material, got my paperwork signed, heading back to the quarry to get loaded again. And I was heading up to a red light, and I hit the brake, and all of a sudden I heard, and I just started to slide, and I saw this white smoke coming out the back, and I'm just like, I have good tires. What's going on? And I started driving, and all of a sudden, I saw, because you're driving so much dirt, I saw my tire getting shiny, and I'm just like, why is my tire getting shiny? And all of a sudden, I hit the brake again, and it's not that my tire can't grip because the fuel was hitting. And I saw I saw a trail of liquid following me, so I stopped. I put my air brake, got down, and I looked on and I'm just leaking. And the thing about it that sucks is I just put $300 in the day before to start the next day. I just put $300 in, so I was a little bit frustrated that time. A little bit. I was really upset. So I told myself I could do one of two things. Sorry, I could rather sit there around the fuel get towed, or I can hightail it to my mechanic, and hopefully the leak isn't that bad. And I mean, it was coming. It was coming out. It was like a little faucet. When you turn your faucet on, it was coming. So, and it was early. My mechanic wasn't there, but I have access to his yard. So yeah, I hightailed it, put it in gear, boom. I'm driving, and I'm just hightailing it, hoping that I don't hit too many red lights, because there's like 4 or 5 lights that I gotta hit. But I mean, I'm just hightailing it, and there's just this trail of fuel. Now, if you get pulled, if I would have stood there, my insurance would have had to pay for that pile of diesel that would have been right there. But due to the fact I was moving, it wasn't leaking that much. It was, I was going so fast, it was just skipping, so it wasn't that bad. It was like a little fuel leak there. So I was just like, all right, I get pulled over, I'm screwed, but I got to make it to the mechanic. So I was able to make it to my mechanic, and yeah, he had a problem because like I said, the piece that the hose goes into, that goes into the fuel tank, was broke inside the fuel tank. So they had to drill it and then get this piece where it actually goes counterclockwise while they're drilling it to bring it out, and so on and so on. So they got that fixed. But those were my two major, like, oh shucks moments, But I was able to get to the yard. I haven't been told. I did break down my very first job. My flywheel broke. I haven't told anybody that. My very first job with the dump truck, I it was probably about a 10-mile relay of dirt. It was at a high school. They were doing some construction on. I picked up the load, and then I go down. It was just this big field in El Paso that we got, and we just dropped the dirt. It was just a load of dirt. And it just go back and forth, and doing good. And I'm gonna say I was on probably about my 7th load. And yeah, I delivered, picked up, and then on the way back, I start feeling it vibrate, and then all of a sudden I heard rah, 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 and I was just like, what the? And then I was stuck. And then the thing about it was, the part where I was stuck, it was on it was a construction road, and it was one lane. And I was like, I'm screwed. I couldn't get it in gear, out of gear. So I'm trying to get it in. So what I did, I turned the truck off, and then while turning the truck on, I'm clutching and shifting at the same time to get it out, and I was able to move. And it's just grinding. I don't know what is grinding. It's the whole way, but I'm like, I gotta get out this road. So I was able to get to the field where I had the dump at, and yeah, it was a nightmare from there. So my truck stayed there. My mechanic sent somebody out to look. He thought it was the drive shaft at first. We were looking at everything. He thought it was the clutch, everything. So we left it there, and it got towed because I had, he told me, and he helped me out because he put the transmission in. He knew it was something with transmission. I had just bought a brand new, well, not a brand new, but a newer transmission that he had put in. So he was like, you know what? We did the work on it. We'll come pick it up, no problem. So he came, picked it up, took it to the shop. Next day I go. He was like, I found the problem. I was like, oh, I gotta buy another transmission. I just paid like $4,000 or $5,000 for a transmission. He was like, no, it's the flywheel. I was like, a flywheel? And then I was just like, isn't it like this really thick piece of metal, and it shouldn't be? And he was like, look, and he showed me, and I think it's 5 bolts that go in the center of your flywheel. And the thing about it, we just got to resurface, because I don't know if you know, but if you buy a new clutch, they resurface your flywheel free of charge. So always remember that. If you buy a new clutch from somewhere, Kenworth, Peterbilt, whatever, the flywheel resurfacing is absolutely free. So I had just got the flywheel resurfaced. There was no problem. Well, what happened was when it was spinning, I guess it snapped. Three of the bolts snapped. I mean, not the bolt snap, but the hole where the bolts go in were wearing out, so they were bigger. So like it fit right here like that. Oh, sorry, don't, that's inappropriate. Anyways, well, it went from here to there. So now the bolt is in there and it's just doing that. So yeah, it's not spinning like this. It's kind of doubling and stuff like that. So that was the problem with it was my flywheel. But it was my very first job with this customer, so I had to call him and say, "Hey, look, I'm so sorry, man. I got to get told." And he was understandable. He was like, "Hey, no problem, man. We're gonna no problem. We're gonna get you paid. Just send in what the loads that you've done." So yeah, I got that fixed. But other than that, I'm gonna start bringing up some more content. Like I said, I've been offered another truck, but the loan I just didn't agree with. I'm gonna talk some more about that, but let me go ahead. I'm gonna upload this video, then bring in some more content, and for the people that's trying to get dump trucks, what to watch out for, and so on and so on. All right. Thank you. Subscribe, comment, share. Like I said, I'm trying to get into this dump truck industry. It's decent money here in El Paso, and I'm gonna explain it to you next video. All right. Thank you. Be blessed and have a nice day.